唱唱这个歌见潘彻塔法的时候。Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Gaya Kara More Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Kara More Toma Bina Kedayalu Jagata Samsare Toma Bina Kedayalu Jagata Samsare Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Vatara Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Vatara Mosamo Patita Prabhu Napae Beara Mosamo Patita Prabhu Napae Beara Ha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Ha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi. Yeah, I don't want. Kripa bolo kana koro Ami bara dukhi Kripa bolo kana koro Ami bara dukhi Daya karo Sitapati Advaita Gosai Daya karo Sitapati Advaita Gosai Tava Kripa Bhole Pai Chaitanya Nitai Tava Kripa Bhole Pai Chaitanya Nitai Aha Swarup Sanatan Rupa Raghunath Aha Swarup Sanatan Rupa Raghunath Vata Yoga Shri Jiva Prabhu Lokanath Vata Yoga Shri Jiva Prabhu Lokanath Jaya Koro Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas Jaya Koro Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas Ramachandra Sangamage Naratamaja Ramachandra Sangamage Naratamaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dayakara More Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dayakara More Toma Vina Ke Dayalu Jagata Samsare Toma Vina Ke Dayalu Jagata Samsare Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. For Premanande Haribo. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat. Narayan, Nasta Praesvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama-shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki. We're reading Srimad Bhagavatam. We're on 4th canto, chapter number 24, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva. And today we're on the last verse of this chapter, text number 79. Gitam Mayedam Naradeva Nandana Gitam Maedam Naradeva Nandana Gitam Maedam Naradeva Nandana Parashya Pumsa Paramatmana Stavam Parashya Pumsa Paramatmana Stavam Parashya Pumsa Paramatmana Stavam Japanta Ekagra Diyas Tapo Mahat Japanta Ekagra Diyas Tapo Mahat Japanta Ekagra Diyas Tapo Mahat Charadvam Ante Tata Apashyati Psidam Charadvam Ante Tata Apsayat Epepsitam Charadvam Ante Tata Apsyatet Psitam Gitam Maedam Naradeva Nandana Parashya Pumsa Paramatmana Stavam Japanta Ek Agra Diyas Tapo Mahat Charadvam ante tata apsyatepsitam Gitam maedam naradeva nandana Parasya pumsa paramatmanastavam Japanta ekagradyastapo mahat Charadvam ante tata apsatepsitam
Parasya pumsa paramatmanastavam Japanta ekagradyastapo mahat Charadvanante tataksyateksitam Gitam mayedam naradeva nandana Parasya pumsa paramatmanastavam Japanta ekagradyastapo mahat Charadvamante tata apsyatepsitam Gitam mayedam naradeva nandana Gitam mayedam naradeva nandana Parasya pumsa Parasya pumsa paramatmanastavam Japanta ekagradyastapo mahat Japanta ekagradyastapo mahat Charadvam ante tata apsyatesitam Charadvam ante tata apsyatesitam Yamayedam naradeva nandana Parasya pumsa paramatmanastavam Japanta ekagradyastapo mahat Charadvamante tata apsyatesitam Yamayedam naradeva nandana Parasya pumsa paramatmanastavam Japanta ekagradyastapo mahat Charadvamante tata apsyatesitam Gitam mayedam naradeva nandana Parasya pumsa paramatmanastavam Japanta ekagradyastapo mahat Charadvamante tata apsyatesitam Gitam mayedam naradeva Parasya pumsa paramatmanastavam Japanta ekagradyastapo mahat
Very good. Gitam Sang Maya by me Idam this Naradeva Nandana, O sons of the king, Parashya of the Supreme, Pumsaha, personality of Godhead, Parama Atmana, the super soul of everyone. Stavam, prayer. Japanta, chanting. Eka agra, perfect attention. Diya, intelligence. Tapa, austerities. Mahat, great. Charadvam, you practice. Ante, at the end. Tata, thereafter. Apsyata, will achieve. Ipsitam, the desired result. Translation. My dear sons of the king, the prayer I have recited to you are meant for pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul. I advise you to recite these prayers, which are as effective as great austerities. In this way, when you are mature, your life will be successful and you will certainly achieve all your desired objectives without fail. 中文 Purport by Srila Prabhupada. If we persistently engage in devotional service, certainly all our desires will be fulfilled in due course of time. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 24th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Chanting the Song Sung by Lord Shiva. 中文
如果我们坚持不懈地做奉爱服务，我们所有的欲望无疑就会在适当的时候得到满足。
Om Jnanatimmarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurunmilitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Lord Shiva had been instructing the sons of the king. These sons of the king were called the Prachetas. And the king was King Prachinibarishat. It was described in the 4th canto here. If you read through the 4th canto, you can hear about this king and about his sons, the Prachetas. So the Prachetas, actually they'd gone to do austerity. They were going to get married, but the system was that before marriage, they first go to do tapasya, go to do some austerity. Nowadays, if you ask a young man before marriage to go and do some austerity, they'll laugh at you. You say, you must be joking. But actually the Vedic culture is like that. That before entering into householder life, taking on the responsibility of a family, the man should first of all do some austerity, do some tapasya. And if there are some countries, they still do it, like if you go to Thailand, Thailand is a Buddhist country, and many people, before the marriage, the man will become a monk. He'll go and live in the monastery as a monk for a period of a few months or so. And then after he's been in the monastery for a few months, he'll come back home and then he'll get married. This is acceptable. We should encourage people also in Krishna consciousness. Come and live in the temple and do some sadhana, do spiritual practice. And in this way, you'll be qualified to take on the responsibility of family life. So, this king, Lord Shiva is saying to the Prachetas, he said, these prayers which if you recite these prayers, it will be just as good as doing any austerity. You don't need to do any great austerity. Some people will do austerities, they'll go to the mountains and they'll live in the cave in the mountains, fasting for some time. And they'll bathe in the winter time, they'll bathe in the ice cold water. And in the summer, they'll sit in the hot sun and they'll build a fire around them. And they'll sit around blazing fires under the hot sun and meditate. So they'll do these kind of tapasyas, like fasting as well. But Lord Shiva said, you can just recite these prayers. If you offer these prayers, you'll get the same benefit as doing any great austerity. Lord Shiva said these prayers are meant for pleasing the Supreme Lord. But we have to understand, we should not recite the prayers mechanically. You should recite them with attention. It's mentioned in the verse, perfect attention, eka agra, perfect attention. So we should recite the prayers. When we offer our prayers, it's a meditation, and we have to fix the mind on concentrating on the prayers. Just like when we sing these songs every morning, when we sing Guru Vastikam, and when we sing the prayer worshipping Prabhupada at Guru Puja, it's important for us that we know the meaning of these songs. When we know the meaning of the songs, then it will have some value, it will be beneficial for us. But if we don't know the meaning, then there's no benefit. You don't understand what you're singing. So it's important for us Prabhupada said, you must know, when we sing these songs, we must know what they mean. And offering prayers is one of the 9 kinds of devotional service. Right? Devotional service has 9 different forms. It begins with hearing and chanting. So first we hear and then we chant. We hear and we repeat. We chant what we've heard. And when we do hearing and chanting properly, then we will remember. Smaranam comes. People want to do meditation. Meditation is actually smaranam. But if you're going to do meditation, you want to meditate, you have to first of all hear and you have to chant. And then you have something to fix your mind on. Then you have something to remember. If you have not heard and chanted properly, you won't be able to remember. So it's important for us that we put a lot of energy into hearing and chanting. And then we can go on to the other kinds of bhakti yoga, like smaranam, remembering. And then after remembering, shravanam, kirtan, smaranam, then padasevanam, worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord. Padasevanam. Worshipping the lotus feet is done by, of course, Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, that she's always serving the Lord's lotus feet. And we also can do padasevanam when we go to visit holy places. Going to visit the holy places and performing the parikrama in the holy places, that is a form of padasevana. And we can also do padasevana by worshipping the Lord's pure devotee. Just like when we worship Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, we say, he is Prabhupada, he is situated at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Right? One who is at the feet of the Supreme Prabhu. Prabhu can mean different things. It can mean Lord Krishna. So Prabhupada can mean one who is situated at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So by worshipping Srila Prabhupada, we're also worshipping Lord Krishna's lotus feet, because Prabhupada has taken shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So padasevanam, and then archanam, temple worship. Archanam, offering the deities. Arti, offering worship to the deities. This is also recommended for people in grihastha life, that they should worship the deity. Why? Particularly in family life? Because when we are grihasthas, we become very attached to our home. We like to be in the home. So when you put the deity there, then the home becomes the property of the deity. The deity is not just there, but the deity is the proprietor of the home. You bring Krishna into your home, he becomes the proprietor of your home. And we worship the Lord in that manner. So for householders, it's very much recommended to worship a deity. And the easiest type of deity to worship is Gaur Nitai. Lord Jagannath is more strict. And Radha and Krishna, they're the most strict. You have to worship them very carefully. So Srila Prabhupada recommends worship of Gaur Nitai as very easy for people. Prabhupada said Gaur Nitai can be worshipped just simply by kirtan. Of course, not every home will do kirtan. You know, some of you have a husband who may not be a devotee. So, you know, you do kirtan, you can't do it when your husband's around. It's difficult. But if you're fortunate and you have a devotee husband and your children, the whole family can do kirtan together. That's very nice. But kirtan, Gaur Nitai are very merciful. You can worship them by kirtan. But we can also worship them by dressing them regularly. Means just like we ourselves, we don't just bathe once a week. We bathe every day. So when you have deities, you're meant to worship them every day. You bring a deity to your home, it's a responsibility. You have to worship very carefully. You have to be regular. And you have to do it when you're clean. Now, women, every month, of course, they have their menstruation cycle. They're not clean. At that time, it's not proper to worship the deity. We generally say, when the woman is in that period, we say she is off the altar. Means she cannot go on the altar at that time, because she's not clean. So, at that time, she should not even cook, because to cook, you're cooking for the deities. Whatever you cook at home, you should offer to the deity. You have a deity at home, whatever you cook, you should offer it to the deity. But if you're not clean, then your food is not very clean, and you can't really offer it to the deity. Usually what will happen is, at that time, the husband will cook. The husband should cook. And the wife will rest. During that time, she would simply rest, and she can chant, and she can read the books, she can go to temple, and she can do these things, but she cannot worship the deity. So, worshipping the deity is there for grihastas, and for others also. Brahmacharis also take part in deity worship. Vanaprasthas, sannyasis, we all take part in the deity worship. But particularly for householders, they can bring the deity to their home, and that way become more Krishna conscious instead of just being conscious of the family. So when you have a deity, then you want to also offer prayers. Vandanam. It's also recommended when we come in front of the deities, we should offer some prayers. Now, these prayers are best learned from other devotees. Great devotees, they've given us many different prayers which we can recite. In the Bhagavad Gita, you have prayers. You have Arjuna offering prayers to Krishna. Arjuna is offering prayers to Krishna, and we can recite these kind of prayers. There are many prayers in the Srimad Bhagavatam. We have the prayers by Queen Kunti in the first canto, and then in the second canto you have Sukadeva Goswami offering prayers when he's asked to speak about creation. And you have also we're just hearing this song chanted by Lord Shiva. This is also a prayer. So the Bhagavatam is full of prayers. There's Gajendra's prayers, you have Dhruva Maharaj's prayers, you have the Brahmana from Avanti Desh, his prayer. If you go through the Bhagavatam, there's many different sections where there are prayers. And we are encouraged to recite these prayers. We often recite, for example, Brahma Samhita. When we greet the deities every morning, we are reciting, we're hearing the recording anyway. Yamuna Mataji is singing the Govinda prayers, 2 verses, just 2 verses from the Brahma Samhita. But there are many other verses, and we can recite also these prayers. We recite also the Shikshastikam prayers every day, every morning. That's minimum. We could recite many more prayers, but at least we recite Shikshastikam. So Lord Chaitanya has given us the Shikshastikam. Everyone should be familiar with the Shikshastikam prayers. We should know the meaning and we should recite the prayers. Then there's the Goswami Astikam. And you can recite the prayers to the Goswamis. And when Kartik month comes, then we will sing Damodar Astikam. And we will sing the Damodar song, and that is also a prayer. And we should know the meaning of the prayers. Of course, we recite also the meaning of the Damodar prayers. So it's very nice to recite these different prayers. And Lord Shiva is saying that this is as good as doing any kind of austerity. The Prachetas, they were going to do austerity, but they met Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva taught them this song which he had composed, in which he is worshipping the personality of Godhead. Lord Shiva is a great personality. He is a demigod, but he is also a pure devotee. He's the greatest Vaishnava. And he is very kind to the fallen souls. He will go to the crematorium and he will deliver many souls there in the crematorium. He will help them all, and even it's said that Lord Shiva is so kind, is so merciful, that people who have had sex which was not according to religious principles, he will arrange for a soul which was a ghost to be placed into the womb of that woman, so that that ghost will get a human body. So that is Lord Shiva's kindness on these people. He does these kind of things. He is very merciful. And here he has been instructing the Prachetas. This is a big chapter, text 79. 79 slokas in this chapter. It's one of the longest chapters in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And it's many verses from Lord Shiva. He's been teaching the Prachetas how to please the personality of Godhead. So that is the real purpose of devotional service, to give pleasure to the personality of Godhead. And we learn from the Bhagavad Gita how we can please Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna says, Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti uparitam ashnami prayatatmana. Ashnami means, Krishna said, I eat, I accept what you're offering. But he doesn't just want the leaf and the flower and the fruit and the water, but he wants the devotion. He wants the bhakti. So it's very important that we try to give our pure bhakti for the service of Krishna. So pure bhakti means we have to be pure in body and in mind and in consciousness. All these things have to be pure. That will be pleasing to Krishna. All that you eat, yakkaroshi yajashnasi yashjahosi dadasi yat tapasyastu kuntiya tat kurushva madhapanam. Lord Krishna is describing in this verse karma yoga. All that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities you may perform, should be done as an offering unto me. So that is not bhakti yoga, but that is karma yoga. Because we're doing things we want to do, like some people want to do austerities. Some people take pleasure in doing austerities. And they will announce to people their great austerities. I did this, I fasted, I chanted so many they will talk about their austerity, and then they will offer to Krishna something. But that is karma yoga. You're attached to working in a particular way, but you're giving some of the result to Krishna. Just like people have jobs. They want to work in the job, and they will work and they will give some portion of their income to Krishna. They're attached to work. Other people, they're not attached to work. They don't like to work, but they do it for Krishna anyway. That is bhakti. They've surrendered to Krishna, and they've surrendered in the beginning, and then so bhakti is surrender, first surrender, and then give the result. Karma yoga, they surrender at the end. Now karma yoga is different from bhakti yoga, but karma yoga is close to bhakti. You do some karma yoga, it will gradually become bhakti as you get purified. So Srila Prabhupada's purport said, we have to persistently engage in devotional service. We have to be very persistent. It means constantly, every day, every moment, our devotional service has to be so full that there are no gaps, that we're all the time engaged in Krishna activities, Krishna karma, working for Krishna, eating for Krishna, sleeping for Krishna. Everything is done for Krishna's pleasure. We have to think like that. That devotional service should be just like we give the example. They have these shops. They have these. They have these 7-Eleven shops. You know. They're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They never close. So our devotional service should be like that, right? 24/7, constant, no gaps. Of course, you say, well, I need to take some rest. All right, you take rest, but you don't sleep too much. You don't sleep too little, you don't sleep too much. It's all for Krishna. I'm taking rest so that I can wake up and do more service, be more active in Krishna's service. So we want to practice in this way. And Prabhupada said, in this way, all of our desires will be fulfilled in course of time. Now, when we're not mature, when we're immature, we have material desires with different material things we want. But as we become more mature in Krishna consciousness, we will give up these desires. Just like Dhruva Maharaj, when he was a young boy, in the beginning he wanted a kingdom, and he went to the forest and he did tapasya, and Lord Vishnu came. But then Dhruva had become mature because he'd been chanting a mantra, and he'd been doing tapasya, and he'd been doing meditation, concentrating his mind. And so he lost the desire. He realized he didn't want a kingdom anymore. And the same happened to Gajendra. Gajendra was caught by the crocodile. Gajendra is a big elephant, and he was caught by the crocodile. So he was praying, "Oh, save me, save me." So finally, he remembered a prayer which he had learned in the previous life. In his previous life, Gajendra had been Indrajumna. He'd been a king. And while he was in the body of Indrajumna, he was worshipping the Lord, and he was reciting a prayer. But somehow he got cursed, and he had to become an elephant. And then he got caught by the crocodile. But then Lord Vishnu came, and Lord Vishnu killed the crocodile. But Gajendra said, "Hey, why you killed him? I offered the prayer. You should have killed me and let me free of this elephant body. I have to stay, I'm in this dumb body, this big elephant body. It's so terrible. You came and you killed the crocodile. He got free of his body. I'm still in my elephant body. I'm still suffering. I offered the prayer, but he got the mercy." So that was what happened to Gajendra. He became mature. Okay, so any question? Yes?
您刚才在讲课的时候，有说到女性来月经的时候，不应该在家里为神像做饭，也不应该在家里为神像供奉，但是可以来神庙是没有问题，是吗？
可以, yes, you can come to temple. 什么时候？你在家里？
是，刚才姑姑说在家的时候，在家里女人来月经的时候不能够。
When the lady is in her menstruation period, I said they shouldn't cook and they shouldn't worship the deity, but you can go to temple. 是的。外面可以聆听唱诵。You can hear and chant. 你也可以吃 prasadam. 你不可以做 prasadam. You can eat prasadam, you can't cook prasadam.
我们这一次来的，我们的奉献者很多是第一次有机会来打扫神像，进神庙。当每一天的音乐响起，当这个帘子打开，就是呢非常美妙的出现在我们眼前的时候，我们应该是什么样的心态和什么样的方法，在这个时候来和神像见面？方法是什么？欣赏是从像经典一样的，从欣赏它的莲花足开始，一直到往上欣赏它的小腿。 大腿，然后他的身体的每一个部位一直到脸，还有他的手，还有他的手势，是用这样的打伞的方式，还是有什么？
So she's asking what should be our attitude when we greet the deities every time, like when they offer the Govinda prayers and they open the curtains and when we see the deities. So what should be our mood? What kind of attitude should we have in receiving the deities? So the attitude should be that the Supreme Lord has come, the personality of Godhead has come. We're receiving Him. We've come to greet Him. This, of course, is His temple, and we have come here to greet Him. So, we can, of course, when you hear the Govinda song, then you can meditate on the words that He's adapted, playing on the flute, with blooming eyes like lotus petals, whose head is bedecked with a peacock feather, whose figure of beauty is tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and whose unique loveliness is charming millions of cupids. Just meditate on the meaning of the song, the translation of the... Usually when we perform arti, Srila Prabhupada taught us that arti is receiving the Lord. So we're welcoming Him and we're offering different articles to Him for His pleasure. Just like Krishna would go away, He would leave Dwarka, and when He would come back to Dwarka, then all the people would come to meet Him and they would offer so many articles and recite prayers also. You know, Govinda prayers, we're just offering 2 prayers. You can offer many other prayers. There's so many beautiful prayers. And you can make your own prayer also if you like. You can also have your own prayer you may like to offer to Krishna. But a prayerful mood, that He is our Lord and Master, we are His servants. So that is the main mood. We are here as His tiny servant. Yes, Prabhu?
A situation of a grafter family, let's say, assume if I go out for obsession for traveling, and we have deities in the house. So my wife, she's under psycho-medication, and she need to cook for ladies. That's our regular that we have to cook, and she need to take prasad. So how the situation is?
That's a problem. You should have somebody cook. Somebody else come and cook. Or you get food from you know, she knows that Psycho is coming, she can prepare ahead of time. But then also she cannot offer. It's mentioned, Baladeva Hhbvvn mentions specifically this point in the purport to the verse in the Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam, that you have to be conscious of cleanliness. And if the woman is in a contaminated state, she cannot worship the deity properly. So that's why we tell people, be very cautious about bringing deities to your home. That's why Prabhupada encouraged people, come to temple. Right? We have a temple here. You come here and worship here, and we can keep up the standard here. But you go, oh no, I have my own temple at home. Okay, who's going to do all the deity worship? You have to consider. But these are the standards. These are very clearly mentioned. These standards are there, and we follow these standards. So to keep deities at home, and there's only one woman there to do the worship, is not very good. You have a son, train up the son. Let the son start doing it. He's already old enough, he could do it. You have to train him. But that's what should happen. Yes? Well, the song of Lord Shiva is there in this chapter. You have to read the chapter. Lord Shiva's been singing the song for many verses. If you go through the chapter, you'll see it's all there in this chapter. Huh? 什么? Yeah. Yeah, many slokas. It's a big song. But, we're singing Brahma Samhita, we follow Lord Brahma, right? Brahma's our Adi Guru. So we sing Brahma Samhita. You can sing Lord Shiva's song if you like. Some people are very devoted to Lord Shiva. Even Sanatana Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis, he was very devoted to Lord Shiva. He used to worship Lord Shiva also. You can worship Lord Shiva to get rid of false ego. Lord Shiva is in charge of ahankar, false ego. So if you have a problem with your ego, you can take shelter of Lord Shiva. Pray to Lord Shiva to take away your false ego. But this prayer, which Lord Shiva is offering here, this is a prayer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. So you can recite that prayer. The Brahma Samhita is a prayer to Krishna. Govindam Adipursham Tamaham Bhajam. Any other questions? Okay, Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaur Premanande. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki.